Hey, shalom, shalom. Shalom. And with the real Hebrew life comes to you week in, week out, outside of the term more five and Son. All praise, Son, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh. To the prophets of the North Great Milton of the America. And that's why I can on the planet and the name is Yahweh, Yahweh, and keep the sincerity. And with no further ado, we'll jump right into it. From the right, I expect to the old brothers out here, Atlanta, they were brothers in my spot from Atlanta. And a wonderful weekend, and can't have play without doing the work. We already work, we got these other, the work continues. All right, and the brother said you were going to a big transition, become a great transition. Now, that's in line with the spirit. I was in where, elect, hopefully, elect, Heavenly Father is going to get great power, great spiritual, physical, all around power. All right, and that's going to be part of that great transition. Because, and we're in transition now. Everything that we've been fighting for, starting with the up and down. And the same is going to happen from the MO to the T to the D. All right, to the World War III, Armageddon, Kamakawa, God is supposed to and brother from food and fish stuff. You know, because you can pull up Armageddon, pull up God is kind of pull them up because that's the transition happening right now. And if people open up their eyes and see the sign and look and watch outside of watch it from madness, they will see the time of Philippians and they'll get themselves prepared.
This is Psalms chapter 75, and I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, "For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but Yahweh Hashem Yahweh is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another."
That's the transition. Mm-hmm. He sets up, that goes into it. He sets up the king, he sets the king, somebody can cover it. Because this is what the Lord is about kingdom. Exodus 15 speaks of the Most High, the man of war. Yahweh is his name. Guess what? When we set up a kingdom and take down a kingdom, those are acts of war. And guess what? A true warrior, if he was the ultimate warrior, would not he get a final war where he would actually win? Yep. That's the kingdom. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's when it would actually be peace on all earth. You know what I'm saying? All the meaning, and throughout the rulership of the kingdom of the universe.
But really, if I may add to what the elder said, because in order to really achieve world peace, that means that the earth in general must be at peace. The water, the air, the trees, the animals, humanity, just life itself must be in harmony with the order of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. So even if, let's say, it ain't been no wars, but the water still polluted, the air still polluted, the animals are still getting hit and roadkill. You see, so the problem with the earth right now is there's an unprofitable leader, okay, that's establishing laws and jurisdiction over the earth that don't belong. So the transition from one people to another is the punishment. You know, as we're going through this course and this journey of being here in America and prophesying, we're starting to see how the Lord is lifting up the elect. He's bringing down the rest. You know, you got it.
I have this one real quick. Yeah. This is Ecclesiastes and chapter 14, and I'm going to start at verse 5, and it says, "He that is evil to himself, whom will he do good? He should not take pleasure in his good."
Yeah, he saw evil. Okay, look at the food, infrastructure that he got set up here. McDonald's, you're gonna feed your people McDonald's, Burger King, with humans. If you evil to your own people, then why would you be good to yourself?
Let's put the same chemtrails in the air, and the earth is the snow bloom, you shake up. The earth is the gloom. It's the purpose. air must come down, and it's gonna be spread out all around. And thank God for the massiveness of the earth, that, if it was 1 inch smaller, we might not be able to sustain ourselves. That most likely this takes bullshit that shows up in the world, issues, equation to live and so forth. We got great power amongst the Gentiles. If the Lord didn't give us the strength to overcome the physical things that we saw those that is like, we would have been there as a society. Yes. It's the power of the Lord. But in the adverse thing is serving him. His cancer rates are high. His death rates are high. All of these went to go get us and stuff from fentanyl to methamphetamine. That's right. 60%, 70% alcohol. I'll say it's always been that shit, man. They report shit. Absolutely. He's always so you can change the nature of people.
Yeah, I got one real quick. If I may, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, and I'm gonna start at verse 4. It says, "The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord." This is what the Bible is saying, how the Lord set up one king and bring it down another. Okay, hey, this is real life Game of Thrones. You know, this is what the Lord is playing with the people on the earth. It's a game of kingdoms. Okay, and we are the least, the quote unquote least threatening kingdom to the society right now in the naked eye. We don't have a formal military. We don't have a formal air force. We don't have alliances, resurgence, or resurge, but we do.
But hey, those ambushes. Yeah, you're part of the army, how about some shot? But our people, our people, so-called legal and illegal America, and to Esau's system and his whole kingdom, we trust in their military. The 4th of July is tomorrow, right? And guess what? We're gonna have niggas wearing, flag outfits, matching flag outfits. They're gonna, you already, I see every time flag suits. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers got the American flag draped over their cars, draped over in their windows. All right, and they're gonna be all wherever the car was, they're gonna be there. And then in their own neighborhood, they're gonna have a whole block lit up. Oh, one of them cookies gonna slide. Every year. But guess what? I just had Juneteenth. And then what is neither one of them done for us? Nothing. We still here.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm speaking.
Some days you can't put them in. But I'm gonna read again, Ecclesiastes
This is saying there's big transitioning that's happening, and you got to sparkle. You know what I'm saying? You got to smoke bomb. And that's what you're looking forward to. You know what I'm saying? And just to tie it to the point. That's why the scripture says in Isaiah, first chapter, that my people, why would you be stricken anymore? You be bold more and more. Well, wholehearted is a wholehearted thing. An ox knows its own, as is master spirit. We're so just blind and so dumb, we can't even see that the Most High is actually tearing down our enemies right now. Blind about these goddamn distractions.
Ecclesiastes 10 and 4. The power of the Lord is in the hand of the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it the one that is profitable. And what's gonna make the earth profit again is because the rulers of the earth are going to be enforcing the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh upon the earth. Because these laws were created so that the earth can flourish and prosper and live. This is an incorruptible law that these pioneers are going to establish on the earth. So that's why it's going to profit the earth. That's true.
Real quick, on what you read over here, real quick. Isaiah 11 and 4. I'm going straight to the point. It says, "But with the righteous, how it shall go with righteousness shall he judge the poor, reprove with equity for the meat of the earth. He shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness
fuck is this? You know, and what you just described sounds beautiful. You know what I'm saying? When I open up my door, I can even get it. You can't. You know what I'm saying? I might not live right in that motherfucker, but guess what? As soon as I cross a couple of streets, I'm in. I just saw it even here, on the way to camp. It was like you go down the street and I'm seeing a boarded up, jacked up, building. And next thing you know, I see the skylights right there, and next thing you know, we downtown, South Beach. And shit. That's a money beat. You know what I'm saying? And the little artist, I gave language with these folks, Esau, when he had his buildings, they got income. You know, and we still, the scriptures are so plain. That's why it's one of my favorites when the rich man in Lazarus, he said, go tell them more people. That's right here in Scripture. If you just read the scriptures, you see it. But you read it for potential strife, you read it for the faith. You don't read it to actually learn and go with the understanding. It's going to the history. That's just cheating. Right. You know what I'm saying? To go and then allow them to pride. And you're not going to allow another man to guide you. All right? Because that's what it comes down to. Those who refuse to come to this understanding, they don't want to be led by how much you know. Let alone the men that he sent to go get, now you just go get what you want.
They want the Lord to conform to their idea. You know, people choose their religion by how much you get it. You know, that's the ideal. I still have grace. I still do this and that. I'll always be a different. I'm gonna choose Muslim. I'm gonna choose Christianity. I'm gonna choose this. You know, as soon as you tell these people what they're not supposed to be doing according to the scripture, they're gonna get mad at you. They're gonna oust you. But then the same nigga in the same level say, I love the Lord.
Yep.
You know?
Hey, but that's why the scripture says that y'all not their lips, their heart is far from them.
The Lord said, if you love me, keep my commandments.
Right.
And his commandments are not grievous. You know? We keep them to the best of our ability, but the ones that we keep.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that we keep, like, cutting your beard off is something that keeping your beard on your face is a command.
Yeah.
You know?
And even, if I may add you too, even the Lord created it where it's his style. Mm-hmm. So, it's like a trend now, so you can actually, blend in and like it. At a point in time, the earth is all about the clean, but now it's like it's a fashion.
You go back, you go back to the late 70s and early 80s. Beer was back in going together, and that's when that was out much. That the lion rousing up in the prophecy, I believe it was 12 sons, right? And he said, Judah was going to rouse them up, right? We had that lion spirit start going out here, our roots out, our ears out, right? And we started getting more into that lion spirit, until the Lord we had to fly. But now this is the final wake up, right? Matter of fact, I was quoted to Jeremiah, and we prophesied at them before me, and before thee of old prophesied both against many making great kingdoms of war and the people of that. That's one of them. The other one is and so the Most High God was talking about war and evil. Right now, America's preaching that it's going to be more prosperity. And everything's going to be okay. And just keep on believing we're going to get the concession over the gas will go back down. The fire chief could come back up. The Tim could come out of there. The gas is there. All stuff that's going wrong. Right. All that is down the way. Right. So done. America's done.
And then I did a lesson on the article that goes with stagflation. Stagflation is variations of different problems in America. The gross domestic product is high, the inflation rate is high, and unemployment is high, and something else is low. I can't remember the final thing. And that's what's called stagflation. a disaster. Okay, so America is out of here, man. The Lord said he's gonna cause the spirit of Egypt to pass. So we're seeing, you know, the implications of America being taken out of the way.
That's the definition of persistent high inflation, combined with high unemployment and stagnant demand in the country.
Yep.
So now people are not trying to spend as much money as what, you know, we was gonna go to parties like, between people. Even coming up here, like, you know, like taxes, all that stuff. Because people ain't trying to pay $5, $6. Y'all tripping over $4.
Right.
We tripping over $6. So I'm looking at y'all and I'm saying, I think it's $75 to go buy that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it costs $35 to go buy that.
Yeah.
And that was how much you gonna go to do that extra thing. People, the deliveries now, and I don't want to pay $40 for a damn delivery. You know what I'm saying? Just to get a burger from Friday. And Sunday, I gotta pay $10 delivery fees. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? Everything is, the economy crumbling right in front of the face. They can't see it. It's in the pocketbook. That's why people are going. Right? And that's the tax demand economy with the high inflation. Everything keeps going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. What's called epic economy, and he was doing all the numbers from the 70s to 80s. Oh yeah. Over 200, 300, 400%.
It was, he said the dollar in the 1970s, now, it has been a 700% increase in inflation.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. That's cool. Yeah. The perfect decline to bankrupt inflation. And go up with the spirit of to do that.
Yep. That's what they will write it on the wall, man. Like we went to that the other night, you know, we had a concern, and at the same time, you know, when that hand came and wrote on the wall, many kept it questions, that was basically the Lord said, I remember thy kingdom of fish. Well, the writing that's on the American Babylonian wall now is you being able to identify the fall of the people. Okay? Yeah, you being able to say, oh, inflation, okay, high murder rates. Murder rates right now in every city is crazy. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. Okay, everybody's Chicago. Man, it's Chicago. Man, they say I was looking at a stat list earlier of all the top, you know, murder rates in America. And from January 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2022, there's over 300 murders in the city. And it's right. And the spirit of you're all set up and all know it. When we got everybody on the edge, that's how you dangerous. Yeah, that dangerous spirit out of it. Especially when it's first day of now what will happen to the drive-through versus the when the spirit of desperation comes on, you need to be ready. And Santos, you know, and all our people, man. You're going to see a level of writing that it's going to be above and beyond, you know, it's going to be other than that imagination, right? But that's the pulling down of the Lord has to pull down the kingdom of Jeremiah 1 and 10. See, I have this day set over the nation and over this land to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant. The Most High is the ultimate pull down, set up kingdom. So you got to keep them down and take it away. Okay, now you're right. Okay, Matthew, and team, you got it. Okay, and Angelo Bitchak, you got it. All right, Uncle Larry Lightfoot, you got it. The Lord set these people up, man. And guess what? Every one of them has hubris to get themselves destroyed because that Obadiah is going to have to come faster. Angels will come up there and make them put in holes in all this fucking plant. That's right. That's right. That's how the transition happens. The Lord put a worm, a canker worm, and all this shit. And the Lord said, I was caused by imagination. You know,
I just Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, remember now thy creator and the days thy youth, while the evil days come not.
Yeah.
Now,
forth that the days are evil. You know why? Because their focus is not on the present. Their focus is on some kind of salvation that they created in their mind. You know, but their goal is on some non-existent salvation. You know, so in their mind, it's, oh, well, this has happened before. We went through a depression before, and we came up, and I'm doing good. But, you know, and these people don't have any faith.
And then I see it's not happening to them right in the minute. It's happening to somebody else down around the block. They don't even have the empathy or the investigate and see what's going on. But these niggas say, oh, man, that's my hero. I'm hero mine. If I was a same selfish belly, then he's all that. It's all about me.
Yeah. And what the scripture says, that for the many, but they shall not change, or they shall not correct or amend their ways. So JK considering all this stuff that's happening in the world because you are acting like an asshole, man. You know, if I don't really want to say I think, I know our people don't understand how pivotal their role is in the world. They don't get it. The earth is out of course because Jake is out of it. You know, we have the spiritual enforcement and the resources from heaven to get the earth in line. No other nation has.
You know, we need to build generational wealth.
You see, and that's the mind of Jake. Jake's mind is so marginalized. You know, that's a good word to use. Jake's mind has been so marginalized by the elite that they want to focus on generational wealth. But what is wealth? You're going to try to build generational wealth on the debt. That's not in a land of somebody else, your own land that you stole from you.
And then meanwhile, the country has bad credit. So you can't build good credit in a country that has bad credit. If the country has bad credit, we all have bad credit.
But why did they prove that they see on all those shows, net clock and all that shit, or average the average taxpayer owes this much. Like when they got you need to when it's all done. I have nothing to do with your functions that I condone money or expenditures, you know, but when you do right American duty, you do.
Yeah.
You know, that's why Lord's gonna judge you right along with the Lord.
That's right. Yeah.
Because more the years drawn nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in
Hey, this is a dead 4th of July. These people do not look happy. You know, hey, I've lived through 43 4th of July. You know, and these people do not look happy. These people look depressed. You know, kids look depressed. You know,
It's intimidating the middle class society. People have to work more and more just to get the little bit that they had. More women are getting more restless because they ain't got nobody to take them out, and they want to go out, and they want to go out. Ain't no out happens like that no more. So I'm saying that this transition right now is starting to bear on police officers and suicide. All right, and also in order to push for this agenda.
yeah. Hey, usually around this time, hey, how many fireworks?
Not a lot.
Usually at every gas station, at every other place, there's a fireworks stand. And we didn't see none of that. We just rode from one city to another, basically. We just rode from one city to another. We didn't see no fireworks stand, none of that.
I'm okay with it. Another part too, is why of course was that thing that I come to see, the very family structure. Not for weekend is family reunion. Holy. They're not more because Jake ain't next to each other. So that connectedness that Jake must have is no longer there. Sure.
Could be.
There's about
Everybody. You know, but see the thing is now there was a time in the earth where you can't see family members for 3, 4, 5 years. You know, so we really sincerely missed it. But now you're on a social media platform where you can see distant family members every day. And the first thing that everybody do is envy each other. Hey, y'all, but then when y'all actually do get around each other, you don't miss each other because you already seeing each other every day. So Esau has literally broken down the very true form and essence of what it means to live. Okay? There was a time in the communication, there was a time where you would have to literally travel 3 days to go and see a beloved individual. You know? You only basing that relationship off of memory. So the whole time you're traveling to go and see that person, you just excited and you now on my face. Because Esau has literally obliterated the spirit of love. So this is, but see, what's happening is this is breaking down the very fabric of a country or a kingdom. You know, if you go to some of the strongest kingdoms in the world right now, I can guarantee you it's built off of love and family. It's all about
Affecting them too.
I was going to say, family is the beginning of government. You understand? First you have a family on the side. First you have a family, then you have your local government, then you have your state government, then you have your federal government. All that stems back to the family. You break the family down, everything else breaks down.
So the nation kingdom divided against itself. Right? And so the first thing the Lord did was divide Jeroboam, Rehoboam, to fight after South. And from that moment, we have been going slavery from both sides, and the hell and hot water, and all that, which we deserve. All right? So now the Lord is restoring our kingdom.
Bringing back our captivity.
Right? And at the same time, it's tearing down Esau's kingdom, because now what you got is Esau, Edomite Russians, all right, against Esau, Edomite, British, and American, and European allies. That's Esau versus Esau. That's hand-claps of Lord. We got our enemies fighting down. And there's no report. There's nothing we know about sit back and say, well, we're going to be cool for another 20 years. Right? Because there's no way to get the economic station out. There's no way to get these weapons out. And the whole pandemic, the whole MOTV, everything is too much.
Well, they're too far deep.
Every bubble's about to pop.
Yeah. So what we're witnessing is if they're the kingdom on the decline, then that means that they're the kingdom on the incline. But see, we're the sleepers still. You know, the Lord got us in a really, it's like we're in the worst case scenario, but truly, we in the best position. Because everybody is underestimating the last. Okay? Now you got the elite international banking families that know what's up. A lot of these really top Chinese government ain't really worried about brothers over here teaching like that. The elite, why, you know, they know what's up. And you got these other nations out here, the real movers and shakers of Moab, and they ain't really worried. They're not thinking about the brothers like that. So this is a good position because we making noise, but ain't nobody listening. So this is the true transformation of one kingdom to another. And the Lord is going to increase it. Like what the writer was bringing out, brothers and those in power, you know, spiritual powers are strictly up. Because one thing that creates a strong kingdom is family, love, and power. You must have power to dominate us.
You know, one of the biggest ways to go cut their power is that definitely part of their position. That's definitely one thing. That's it, right? Because it is the very same tool they use against us. The brother said that report as well, that over $50 trillion have been siphoned out from the lower and middle class over the last 40 years. Since 1970, $50 trillion. That will come down to $1,000 a month extra every month since that time. Wow. That time for every single low so income they have robbed them. So now the Lord's going to put the James in money.
Yeah, hey, you know what? You made a statement. You said all these nations are geared to fight each other. A big point about that is these nations, none of them are spiritual. We're spiritual. They don't see a threat from us, so their focus is not on us. You know, armies on earth. Our army is from our Father in heaven, man. They can't see that because they're not spiritual, man. You know? So, while they're gearing up to go and fight each other, you know, and the focus is not really on us, the saints are gonna take the kingdom, man.
Yes.
From power of high.
You got me.
I was going to speak to, that's what I wanted to say, and it should come to pass in that day, is the house. There should be a noise of a cry from the city, and a howling from the city, and a great crashing from the hills. And those hills, those gates represent markers. When you go back to the ancient gates of Israel or any country, you will see you have a fish gate, that's where they was actually selling fish, and selling commodities that those should be. And you go down to this other gate, you have this, there goes to some gates, you have been judging civil matters between business people and so forth. But the different gates where you represent entryways and exitways of different places, that's where the notice, the only community with people will come and solve the issue, right? Or set up commerce, all right? And so when he said this will be a great crash in the hills that from all different nations, the American dollar is going to destroy every other dollar that's connected to. That's all the places to find or consider great. Okay, now we're going to add up to the local code. So put out there this, that, and most times going to destroy all these things. Yeah. Most times going to destroy all this shit.
That's a better point. I know it go right quick. You say they market crash.
Yeah.
It was like the same.
And if you go by what we read on, how the inhabitants of Moscow, all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off. Who bears silver? Those are the martyrs. You go to that word Moscow in a linear and break it down in the Hebrew, all right, which is Makatash. It's a mortar or a deep hollow. So you look at brick and mortar, right? But you got hollows, you got holes in the brick and mortar. By the whole name of the Makatash means a hollow or valley, evidently used area. You got a hole in the valley. You're missing shit. It's holes all in their market. Yeah. Because it's set up with bullshit. The Lord is telling you by even the name of the word Makatash that he's tearing them down.
Well, and you know, that's how you know it's a dishonest system. Because a lot of the most prosperous people that deal with trading and certain brothers that know more about it speak on it. You know, I know a little something, but they find the loophole. You ain't never gonna be on top of the stock market if you don't know the loophole.
And if you do know the loophole, you don't have the economic power to be influential or give an excuse to people to be.
I got a quick one I want to bring out. Unrighteous dealings and increase in riches.
Hold on, unrighteous dealings, man. Like what the elder said, cycling $50 trillion over the last 40 years. Do you know how much oppression came from them peacefully dealing with the earth? Jake is mad, and Jake is taking it out on each other. By design, and it's so beautiful, because we're going through the same things that Jake is going through, but Yahushua is teaching us how to love each other through this shit. You know, we catching financial hell, we catching physical ailments, but instead of looking, I give a fuck about me. I'm in this shit by my fucking self. Fuck my belief, you like, hey, brother. Like that, man. You know, incredibly go up. We catching all this hell, but the Lord is showing you how to love through it. That's why we being strengthened. The love, man. That's Yahushua. You can't underestimate the love that was in Yahushua. That's what made him so strong. Because he loved his people. You know, that's why what happened in the book of Matthew, the 9th chapter, when he saw how bad Israel was in the bad condition. The scripture said the Lord was moved with compassion. Okay, because he loves his people. So by him loving his people, he made sure that he kept the integrity within himself to go through his course. That's the same thing with the brothers.
Yeah, that's true. This is Luke 7:1. Now, when he had ended all his speaking from the audience of the people, he introduced Capernaum. And a certain centurion's servant, who was dear unto him, sick and ready to die. And when we heard it, how shocked, which means he had faith and he believed, right? He sent unto him the elders of the Jews to teach him that he should cover and heal his servant. And when they came to Yahushua, he saw some instances that he was worthy to whom he should do it. Now, why was this man worthy of Yahushua? For he loved our nation and had built up a synagogue. Man, so if you don't love your nation, if you're not about the truth of what the synagogue is about, and all that, all right? So if you want to get the eyes of the Lord to come in you, bring you out of this condition, you got to love your nation. That's right. All right? And you got to build the synagogue.
Yep. Two great commandments. What? Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, and spirit, and love thy neighbor, or thy brother, that's how love thyself. These two hang all the laws of the Bible. So people are underestimating the power of love throughout any condition. Now, there's really no such thing as unconditional love, because you're supposed to love with conditions. You ain't supposed to love no murder. You ain't supposed to love no adult, pedophile. No, love must be with conditions. So we have a conditional love. And the conditional love is the unity of the bond of the spirit. Now, once that's broken, okay, you find yourself outside of that love. You count them as a heathen or a publican. Okay, so what's happening is Yahweh Shema is testing our resolve for how much we care about the truth. He's taking us through these same hurdles that the earth is going through. That's how we're going to rise out of this kingdom and establish our kingdom through Hamashiach Yahweh. It's the unity, man. Like the son y'all made a great point earlier. He said every country or city or town, it always started with that one family. You got what we in DeKalb County. That go back to a white man whose last name was DeKalb. You see what I'm saying? So he had set up his little town, his house. He had his wife, his wives, his children. They probably opened up a market. They probably opened up a little store, was selling blankets, one roll at a time. Yep, one roll at a time. Always go to the kids. I was in the liquor store, and I called it a bus. Even like, inside the store, it looked like an old gentleman, wishing. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? That's his memorial. Yeah, that was there because he set it up. Yep. And that's how things develop. But there was a time when white people loved each other way more than they love each other now. White people hate each other, man. And it's beautiful to see this good old white hate. I love to see good old white hate. You hate faggots. Great. But to be honest with you, most people don't know. You go to the Department of Justice and scour certain statistics. Mm-hmm. Only crime that JP saw is credit crime. Credit crime. Every other category Esau is I had it by hands down. But it's not promoted, it's not put out there. Yeah. No, yes. Black and black.
And we outnumber them now. Because the opioid epidemic.
But that's not
and abortion. Because they lead in abortion too. That's a lot.
Yep.
The opioids, the abortions, and there's a lot of marriageable age men that who see won't take to make a baby.
Yeah, and that's what I do. And that's people right.
Real quick reset. This is back at your point. This is Jeremiah 15:24. It says, I have made a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast stricken against the Lord.
That's you.
This is Jeremiah 15:24. Yeah, just speaking of love, this is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 8. It says, and above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, which charity shall cover the multitude of things.
It's really a shame, bro. Really a shame on people that when the Lord was supposed to be tired, have to tie ourselves. shame on us, you know? Because how the hell we gotta support them? You know? But I look at those, you know, so old, $3 dollars, all, you know, billions of dollars of that church ministry, with no billion, $20 industry. Right? That tribute that's gonna come in that great transition. They're gonna bring the forces of somebody to get that, because we're hurt, we're up there struggling, we're up there, you know, sacrificing. They don't got that.
There's my life on the line.
That's it. They're not
It's on the line.
you know. And when he used to say that, I always, you know, chuckle at it, you know, because it's the truth. And really, in any other society, we would be killed, silenced, destroyed, stripped, or banished, or something.
So that's happening in Korea. But this is the president.
That's coming against it. Because what we're doing is coming against it. We're coming against the current system, the countries in the that we're getting considered trees. All right, they use now. They say they use now American trees.
But you know what's so beautiful about how the Lord got everything set up? Esau really can't pull us on trees, technically speaking, because their constitution says that we free for the union. So you can use that shit against us. Well, technically, y'all told us we was never a part of your fucking constitution.
But they already figured it out by stealing the freedom of so people over here by every Israelite is prisoner of war. Yeah, and every Israelite is also still a captive slave. Held against their own will. That's right. Right, and then they got so many laws that say that if you you can't profit off the crime, you profit off the blood. Right? You can rip them up to the prison too, but they don't need you because we saw still ain't gonna let it go. They go take the power and how much that's why we can do that. That's also part of that decision going back to the power. Right? That the Lord is going to have to imbue us power for us to get out of here. And there's no power of our in and of ourselves. I have no might. Okay? The might that I have is the Lord, what the Lord gives me to stay in the street.
I got a quick one. Father, you're speaking of power. So this is Hosea chapter 12 and verse 3. And they start with the transition as well. It says, he took his brother by the heels, Jacob, to the womb, and by his strength he had power with the Most High. So that's going to be the transition after the power is.
So let's say about us. What did he say to King David in 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter? All right? What did he say to King Solomon? When he said, King, what you? And King Solomon goes, you precious brother, how will we reach your people? You know, since you didn't ask me for this, you didn't ask me for this. How will you y'all? Do you know Pops wants to be like? He wants our own autonomy. He wants us to be his sons. He did not, the Most High don't want no goddamn puppets, man. Just like he don't want no men of the Lord being shoot king, brother. The Most High don't want no puppets, man. So he's allowing us to develop into the gods and sons that he will have us to be. Right? You know? That's part of that great transition. That's power, man. Right?
Yeah.
Second Ezra chapter 6, I'm going to 17. It says that it happened that when I had heard it, I stood up on my feet, hearkening, and behold, there was a voice that spake. And the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. And it said, behold, the day comes that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. And it will begin to make inquisition of them.
And that lets you know that visit, inquisition, that lets you know you take it of that English, right? That visit me, no, I'm coming here to judge. I'm coming here and I'm about to come check you. I'm about to make a visitation upon you, scripture says. I'm about to see how you living and what your condition is. Right? And if your shit ain't right, I'm going to make a plea against you. And that plea is a lawsuit. And who is this between? How shall to the Father against you?
And he said, yo, you have not defended me. I'm coming to the Father. I don't know this motherfucker. But you done right, hey, Lord, I'm going back for them. I'm your lawyer, I'm your mediator, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't understand the earth, I'm talking about, y'all talking about the people, the others, people, all creation, the judgment that, the Lord, what's going to be in their earth, the whole life, earth, then we'll be angry at the river. What does the beast do? The beast go to the beast, come up there and the beast. Right. You got to have a flee with you. Right. What they do? Right. Y'all don't know, and if you don't understand that the scripture, knowing the terror of this way, man, we can see it. And we don't want no smoke. You want some of this smoke, man? No. Like,
and we begin to make a position of self.
I'm just like add that word right there in position, look into it, you be under intense investigation. That's why you look at America, it's why some visible church like in America, but they are the Lord and place over the people in good. So America, basically, like a hotspot, the Lord got a spiritual microscope, a telescope, so to speak, putting down America. As I said, you're in justice. Hey, what happens when you put a lens on the you got the lens on something too long, it's gonna start to burn a hole in it. And that's what's happening. America is really imploding. And then it's gonna get exploded. You know, it's imploding and then it's about to explode because Russia's gonna come through and have their business. Okay, which a lot of you Americans still walking around with the 1950s and 60s pride. That you have the greatest army. No, you don't. You don't have the greatest army anymore. You have a great army, okay, but you don't have the greatest. Okay, take you to, you know what I'm saying, MOCB, right, this is just a couple of them, because the white people don't people, yeah, right, you know what I'm saying?
US, they just, failed, their hypothetical missile test. Failed. So we'll show you, you know what I'm saying, and you got it.
You know what, they really don't have a good army, and their army is full of homosexuals.
Oh, and women. Anytime you got suits wearing high heels, man, you know, and walking down in high heels or whatever it's called. You know that? And did you? I look in the North Korea, looking at the Russian president. They doing some. They up there, they breaking bricks and they breaking bullets and shit. Right. And I hear, the Christians saying, "Come to the army. It's cool and shit." You know what I'm saying? Right. And then they get mad when you break the break and shit up in there. This world is so jacked up, bro. Yeah.
They lowered the entry level, physical entry level test in the military for women to pass.
This ain't you don't have to have a diploma. You don't have to have, because those numbers are low. And that's what you think that we've been saying? It's years.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All these niggas, they all want to shoot each other up. They gonna shoot each other up. Go shoot, nigga.
Oh, yeah. Like I always say, man, the Lord gonna shit you niggas over to the Middle East. You gonna be clicking that helmet on, crooked in the motherfucker, get your ass sprayed up. Okay? The Lord is getting ready to start, you know, they make an inquisition about the things that are going on down here. This is his creation. The Lord got every right to do according to his will based upon his creation. He made us, he made the animals, he made Edomites, he made Israelites, he made Moabites. The Lord created everything. You know, he is gonna have the final say in this matter, man. You know, you have some more stuff.
It says, and we begin to make inquisition of them, when they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness.
Yeah, Esau, man. Mainly Esau, but we can't forget about them other nations because they got unjust dealings going on within their country too.
And Jacob said, "Lord, no matter where we are,
Yeah.
we at the bottom." You know, Santa Rosa to London years ago, you know, having a flag, what's that about? You know what I'm saying? But then when something came up, let's go back and open that in. Right? shit, you know, you swear, I don't swear back in the week. Everybody knows this is supposed to know nothing menthol. This is supposed to menthol. You know, still no carbon, no back, you know. But and I was like, you wait for so many years. They got to the something on food. You know what I'm saying? They don't matter where you go to China, the girl who she won the Chinese title. Everybody thinks she won, and they wouldn't give it to her, right? We're oppressed no matter where we go. That's why we're corporate over there in China, man. The Lord said he puts them to the high kick. You see a whole lot of so-called groups and shit, and not the Israelites, man. Right? The Lord's got Israelites everywhere, man. And I don't give a damn what society you are in. If you do some of those untouchables. Because of that Noah's that Punjabi you can't come around me, you know, if you go into South Africa, you go to different places, other states, no matter where we are, right?
Yeah. We're able amongst all nations. So the Lord is going to come and inquire about the heathen nations that's ruling over just like that. You know, go ahead, bro.
When the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished.
And that world that's going to vanish away is not talking about the whole inhabited earth. Okay, that world that's talking about is talking about the rulership. Okay, every rulership that's under the sun that's ruling right now is going to be taken out of the way. Russia's not going to rise up out of this, man. The markets are going to be so unstable. These countries are going to be war-torn. A lot of the major cities that are the backbone of these countries are going to get hit by missiles. If you hit Moscow, bro, that's it. Ain't nothing else coming up out of Russia. So you hit fucking Tokyo, or you hit what's the other one over there? China, man. Beijing, Hong Kong, all these big top, Bangkok, things like that, Singapore and the UK. If these places get hit by missiles, ain't no little small country back road town in Switzerland here at Rising Town, right? Okay? It don't work like that, man. So the Lord is getting ready to bring down all kingdoms. Okay? Now that America has been slated to be utterly obliterated from coast to coast, but there are also going to be, everybody like what the Elder Rucker always says, is going to be a old Mexican standoff, man. We talk about a 4 hour of the world releasing its nuclear missiles on each other. Do you know how much catastrophic damage? I'm talking about a 4. We've been doing this for about an hour. So imagine every country launching their nuclear missiles for about the space of the time that we've been doing this. That's catastrophic.
And like you mentioned this day, if the Lord didn't come and cleanse the earth, it wouldn't be no one. It would not, you know what I'm saying? If he can hold those missiles and hold the wind, we would not be there. That nuclear fire, that destruction, that final cleansing, with the permanently cleanse the earth forever to return it to natural state. And get rid of all the wicked. But that's the end of that inquisition, which I went to the etymology a little bit more. Judicial investigation. So this is a wholly judicial investigation, act or process of inquiry, investigation, a searching into.
I'm sorry, I gotta add that judicial investigation. In America, you got 3 branches of government. You got the executive, you got the legislative, and then you got the judicial. The judicial branch that deals with the laws of the judges, Supreme Court, all of the judges, and that's really one of the most powerful branches of government. So an inquisition is a judicial investigation. Now, who is judging or investigating America thoroughly? The judges, the prophets, man. That's why we got a whole bunch of judges. So the reason why America is being exposed to the totality of what is being judged is because the Spirit of the Lord is on the judges, which is the Israelites, man. And that's why and what's happening is when they watch out, you might go and watch, Alex Jones, all these different whistleblowers. They got some key facts, but if you want a thorough investigation of Babylon the Great, you gotta go through the Israelites, primarily GMS.
He said, right? He said, Zephaniah 1:12, you should come to pass at that time, and I will search you and punish the men that are settled on their knees, and say in your heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Well, after he's done with us, all right, and he separates the righteous who got that power and that life, he he's gonna turn around and search out Esau either. He said he's gonna come get you out the holes, the rock. He's gonna come get you out of your space station. He's gonna get you out of your submarine. All right, he's gonna get you out of your bunker. All right, and that's gonna be part of that transition. All right, he's gonna come get you. All right, you thought you survived. Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. No, now you got a new job. You don't have a counselor? Right. You don't have a counselor who's going to go body all over. Right? Body going to be a counselor. You're going to be walking, you'll be crawling out of you walk back. You're going to have to walk. You know how you go on the work the expressway? And we have to be an hour of traffic, 45 minutes of traffic. It's going to be a walk traffic. Ain't no easy. You're going to have to run in like an animal that's too hard. Don't depend on your feet. Until you want to feel working. You know what I'm saying? And you have a license just to get to be on your hands to eat. And if you're one part is the one side of my face, one's going to be the other side of my face. You might go swim to a whole alligator just to get to the motherfucker. You might go to so much fucking hell for the hell that you put around people, and the hell that you put in the animals, the hell that you put in the birds, the hell that you put in the bees. And the Lord said the trees, they ran, ain't no summer around us. The trees are going to be happy. They can actually breathe. They're suffocating right now. Don't get mountain ones talk about the trees, man. I see the trees here, I see trees that got damn dead. You cut halfway up the damn tree and just take off the fucking branch and get them just starving, man. You look at it, man. No fucking fruit. The brother said he's been here 5 million years from Detroit, man. And you're supposed to have fruit trees everywhere. This is a fucking beach. The beach state. No beaches.
Yeah, I've been here my whole life. I ain't never seen a beach. Never seen
That's what he does is, he goes around destroying all of his actions. He goes around destroying all of the fruit trees and
He overpopulates the male seed and squashes the female, that so it gets populated. You need two studs party.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 49:10, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. Okay, so that's why Esau is up under this inquisition or this judicial investigation, is because a judge has mastered the art of study. Okay, if he was judging speaking, a legal examination, seeking of grounds for accusation. See that? So if you really want to pull some charges up on somebody, you gotta know the law. See where Alex Jones and all these other individuals slip at, you can't really pull Esau up on the charges that we pull them up on because you don't know the law. You don't know the law of the Bible. See, we able to pull things up on Esau that y'all think ain't bad. Okay? So the most thorough is the land tax. Alex Jones ain't gonna be talking about this, or any of these other whistleblowers to the fact that they're not. But we are, and that gives us a better case. It's like, hold on now, y'all only coming with that little small portfolio. Yep. They're white for how long, bro? Like, but and that's what the Lord is doing. The Lord is giving a thorough judicial inquisition on the charges that's being brought up on the earth. And he's listening to us. He's listening, he's like, you know what, they got a point. They are making good points.
Yeah,
you know,
they can't incriminate us because we're coming with facts. Yeah. You know, you can't incriminate a truth statement. You know, what are you gonna say? Well, you said it too loud.
See, that's one of the reasons, number one reason why they don't touch it is that every time they speak on us, they bring more light to it. Yeah. So the more light that you bring to it, the more people are going to wake up to the truth. You know what? Let's put a music black out. And then once in a while, they'll try to throw a little bit of something to keep it so if they can demonize it and the future plan to demonize, but this is still the guy. It's time to do that. You can't yourself. So Esau's in the trick bag. The Lord God is nothing. He's already up. And the pit of his heart, he knows it. Because the true spirit of pride is that he tries to I know I saw things baseball from 90 miles an hour, but it's not. That's what they teach people. They keep them fucking with you. You got 1,000 niggas trying to get in the NBA. Trying to break into the art of rap game. You can make it. You can do anything you want to. No, you can't. I'm saying, so you're not going to be able to do what you want to.
It says, he shall not be able to hide himself if he is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, he is not. You know, so Esau is getting ready to come out of it. Really, I was going to be like this thing. Esau is already there from his time.
Well, he said, overnight. Yeah, this potential should be down. Yeah, if you start coming down at the time of 60, you just went up.
That's
So you've been on this decline.
So it's just like if you a mayor and you get brought up on a Ponzi scheme, you might still, I mean, until they give you the verdict, you might still have a little power, but you already become a mayor. A name that's for once you get past the power, you're about to be out of there, you're not going to be elected anymore. Nobody takes you serious. And you might still hold a position, technically, right? But nobody gives you a turn. Yeah, see, like, so that's what America is. Okay, and in America's eyes, they feel like, yeah, we run the world. But Russia was very different. China was very different. Iran was very different, and they're going to explore that notion. So you feel like you're a big dog, well, let's put that in the picture. You know, because the heavy hitters gonna come out. They gonna be these little skirmishes, you know, continuing to take place, you know, as we continue to get down to it. It's gonna be the big dogs gonna come out, man.
I got a verse, it's like there, 14. Verse 10. And they shall all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also can weak as the weak? Art thou become light unto us? All right, and you jump back up. So who's this God? Verse 4. That thou shalt think of his power against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath he oppressed thee? The golden city, see, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepters of the rulers. He who smote the people, not just the Israelites, but all the people, his own people, and himself. The scripture says, he that rose himself rose his own soul. So you actually hurt, you fight people yourself up. You know, in the upper, you just grab your hand and the big brother is like, why you beat yourself up? Why you beating yourself up? Stupid. All right? He said, he who smote the people in wrath and continue to stroke. He that rules the nations in anger is persecuted and none hinder. That means that when the persecution that's going to come up, it was subsequently one more, Ishmael, and the 2/3 of our people. It's about to be, it's going to be a time in 2012 that's like never before. Never.
Lord will get everybody in that. So basically, explaining everybody that is over that. Explaining all the nations in that one area, that one spot. You can make that judgment call, and he's going to get them all one judgment. Meanwhile, simultaneously, that's what Israel's going to get deliverance and going to get a blessing.
That's right.
And you do what can.
Yeah, we're going to get some total precepts we gotta wrap it up.
And this is going back to Inquisition, right? Taking into 6 and 17. And it happened that when I had heard it, I stood on my feet and hearkened, and behold, there was a voice that spake, and the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. And it said, behold, the day comes, like the Lord brought it back to you, because he wants to reiterate the thing. He's about to fuck this place up, right? Right? And I'm just marveling that the Lord does it everywhere. I don't think we will be excited, but yeah, in scripture, all through it, that's the list of the Lord, that's when it's real, man. And his word alone, like, it's carrying this place down. He talks about the water, that water, the golden, cutting. The word of God is quick and powerful, it's like a short sword. His word is fire and his word is water. Like the spirit is fire. Right? He said it should drop down as dew, as the earth and the shower. Opposite, what you read it doing. Verse 18, and it said,
draw nigh, and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly for their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled.
And when you do that, it's Christian, man. So, if we made a forward. We paid for our sins. Alright? We're doing it because the Lord said, you repent on me, you believe that say, I want to keep you people. He has to keep his word. So this affliction is what he's done. Still some more?
Yeah, I mean, what was the point? And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show thee tokens. The world, that right there is the world once again. See, the system, see, that's how you know we give them more thorough investigation, judicial investigation, deeper. See, the average person that's going to read it, I'm going to destroy the whole world. No, we understand that they're talking about a system, okay, a kingdom, okay, that is a cosmos right there. Okay, the word cosmos is self-cosmos. It goes into an order set of arrangements.
You have your world of football, your world of basketball, and a world of sports. But it's different systems. If you can, it's just as simple as you can. You don't have to make it no more complicated because if they want to make it anymore, you're wicked.
You know, it's just that simple. So that world that's going to vanish away, it's talking about the current system, NATO, the beast, it's bigger than America too. You know, a lot of you whistleblowers like to get on the scene and be just like America. This is bigger than America. Okay?
America is the whole.
This is the war. Why you making anything about you know, the real big dog is the beast. NATO and America is riding upon the beast. But really the beast gonna get off the man. It's
It's a shame because it makes them look bad. You see, and Esau is that proud.
Yep.
Esau really is the goddamn devil, and he deceives himself. All right? Everything that he hates, he gets him. And that's why he has to kill himself. Right? You know, and the Lord is cold. This is if you trust in his plan, man, he's bringing. That's why he says he's going to bring us. The Lord is actually set it already up. He's already got it. You know what I'm saying? It's already done. All we're doing is proving that we're the sons of God. Right? He said, love and charity that we have. They're going out there in the highways and byways. You know what I'm saying? Coming with having our garments on, knowledge and understanding, and finding my servant so good. All we're doing is proving his plan. All right? That's why it's called foolishness of preaching. We really got to tell us because of this, right? You know how low we are right now? Because if you find out we're doing a little payment, breaking that shit, and then we're sitting at the same time telling brothers and other motherfuckers about their ass, and the mirror looking at the motherfucking mirror. You know, if you carry that shame, you might not talk about it, but I'm going to be honest for how I feel. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a country, what the fuck are they going to do out of that shit? What the fuck? That's what we have to guide because these people who preach, they think that shit coming from a holier than thou. No, nigga. Yeah. I fucked up, and the Lord been jacking me up. And I don't want to get jacked up no more. That's why we don't, we know the spirit of the Lord. We're telling you about the transition about to come. If you don't see it, we ain't going to be there to help you. Because if I done told you, you heard it from me, you didn't stick. I'm coming for you. That's right. And it's not me, it's the Lord. That's right. He says, don't be nowhere. That's right. I don't know that I ain't done night.
It says, when the world that shall be paid finished away shall be finished, then will I show you tokens.
That's the power. I mean, that's not only the evidence of market, the evidence of family, the evidence of support, but when you took them true tokens, the true side, the army side. When you start raising up the elect, and there was that wisdom sound about the transition from the kingdom being translated. Right. They do the strange stuff about salvation. All right.
That's another time again, but they all say, you know, that's it, you know what I'm saying? That, they're gonna be, these tokens are gonna be evidence that we are the sons of God. These are when he said we don't yet know what it is, like, but when we come, we shall be at peace. Yeah, brother. You know, I said, the book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 26. But the judgment should sit, they should take away dominion to consume and to destroy unto the end. Verse 27, and the kingdom and dominion, greater than the kingdom of the whole heaven, should be given to the people of the Most High. Kingdom is the everlasting kingdom, and all the dominions should serve and obey him. That's going into the end of Esau's world, which is going to be destroyed by fire. Also, verse 7, the king is going to be translated for
it's how you prove that they're going to the end of the 4 keys between the matter and the 4 keys. It's how you prove it's Esau. What I think was I guess they can't. It's the old diet of that verse 21. Because the Savior shall come up on Mount Zion. Was that singular? Was that Savior singular? Oh no. So why don't this Right. It's a Savior. Now we know the most high Savior is Yahweh. Right? And he's mighty to Savior, mighty. He set up the Savior, Yahweh. Whoever sets up the Savior is the true Savior. Right. But then that Savior also set up the Savior. The Son, the angelic force, the Lord I stop alone. Hey, but the scripture say that they have mind of God. The Lord's name is He delivers. So if we are a part of the outside, and that means that we have the delivery within us. Because we're of Him. We're part of His Son. And that's so. It's just like if you work for the CEO of Nike, you know, and he gives you access to the different facilities, and it's pretty much you're Nike.
we love contractors, right? Elaborate a little bit, like, if you work for a company like you contracted about FedEx, to deliver, you know what I'm saying? They delivery people, but they subcontract you, then they out there delivering.
Verse 21 again, it says, the Saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the Mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. So every time you read about the Lord getting the kingdom, like read with the James, that 4 beats, Esau has to go 6 to 9. Esau in the word of the power. So that's why Esau hasn't been done away with. He played a civil role in time process. He's that nation that has to go down first for the kingdom. That's right.
This verse, Corinthians chapter 6, verse 1, says, dare any of you having a matter against another, go to the law before the unjust and not before the saints. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world, and the world shall be judged by you? Are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matter? So, like the brother was saying, hey, this is the importance of understanding the law. You know, the law, statutes, and commandments of Scripture, which can't nobody else do that. What the service of the hour Yes, that these are more worthy than these business, speaking of these different branches of politics and government. That's what makes us more worthy, because we allow the law of Scripture.
And that's what a king, nobody can set up a kingdom without law. See, the streets, niggas like to glorify the street and be like, oh, the code. But you have no real formal code. You niggas don't know what you live by. You niggas don't have a set.
Every step got it.
Yeah, it's like, so you don't have a real structured, they always want to, talk about Stanley Cookie Williams and King David. Man, I'm gonna be blunt, fuck them niggas. Fuck them niggas, man. Cause they led the people astray. They know better than the capacity. Cause you have to have something, outline that governs the people, okay? That's why us establishing righteousness in the earth using the law, statutes, and commandments is what's gonna lead to a kingdom. We read that in verse 5. You gotta have a law. Niggas are lawless. Therefore, your lifestyle will never ever have leverage over anything. Because if you can't go to the top of the street nigga, you go, hey man, I done ran into a problem, my brother cheating. What to do? You know what I'm saying? Fuck that bitch. Then you gonna go to another top street nigga, man, take that bitch back. You gonna go to another top street nigga. It's gonna be a mix and a variation of bullcrap because there is no formal structure. Now, if you go to the new brother now, okay? Now, let's say a brother be like, hey, man, I'm just our judgment is going to be the same on homosexuality. Yeah. Our judgment is going to be the same on if you eat pork or shrimp, crab, lobster. It's not fickle. It's not going to change. And you might see only change from season to maybe the brother might say you got 6 months, another brother say like 2 months to think about. Or you might see a dynamic of it. Change, but as far as all that's right, definitely. We speak the same thing. We have the same mind, the deity of one mind, of one accord.
I got that. Philippians 2:2. Fill ye my joy that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind.
That's what the kingdom is. A panel of like-minded individuals who can love and mercy. Yes. Because even through the judgment, he was there about you. So, 1,000 years. That's mercy. We could put the foot on it with centuries on centuries. He's probably fucking up from the land. Right, he's done fucking up longer than 500 years. Yeah. Oh, and matter of fact, he said we'll have a pressure war from Amalek on down. Matter of fact, let's go back to the let's go back to the serpent. He can have perpetual war. So that he teach you what the 35th chapter. A perpetual war with a perpetual age. Right? So we're punishing him less than what he deserves. Because Lord's punishing us less than Lord's side all. Yeah, Esau been fucking us up since Greece. And then Rome fell, and then they came back when the Renaissance. They spoke to him bro. They spoke to him that I'm gonna teach you elderly bit. You know what I'm saying? You see the character in nature? Bro, we are not like, man, we are the only loving people on the planet that can actually truly have the power to forgive. You do not see the Arabs forgiving certain other nations. It's perpetual war. There's Amalek and the Palestinians. To this day, they fight, man. Come on. Hey, then that's a good point you made. The scripture says that mercy rejoices over judgment. Because mercy is really what's going to give magnification of Yahweh. Because let's say the Lord, we made a transgression and the Lord just had it fed up. I'm not sending my own begotten son. Then how would we even be able to do this? How would we be done? So the Lord's name wouldn't get glorified or magnified. It'd just be the Lord. So, but the mercy aspect of it is a second chance to do better. And by us having a second chance to do better, we yelling at how about Shema shot and top of our right? We sacrificing, we enduring, we crying. We're teaching humanity that even though people deal with simple flesh, if you follow the plan, if you follow the wisdom, you can be rewarded. You can have true prosperity. The kingdom is going to be beautiful because a lot of people are going to just be right and they think they're I'm supposed to, when the righteous are ruled, people rejoice. Now, you ain't going to be rejoicing if I got to put up with it. Right. You know what I'm saying? You don't be rejoicing if I'm blessing the way because you can do it. Yeah. Right now, God is going to still be
we don't show them that there's power in the spirit, obedience, and that they, this is the way out, and then you will see the perfect balance of humanity. The wickedness is very minute and scattered here and there, with the scandal happening once in a blue moon, because they won't happen amongst these nations. But overall, it's going to be an order. And the Lord's not going to set up the universes and the galaxies with just magnets everywhere. You got fucking planet Jubilee, but the JW belief, where they got the homosexuals, the whole planet, race, all this just magnets over here. Some perfect planet. The nature is going to be restored. The birds are going to be in the church. The bees are going to be back. Where are all the bees? Where are flies? All right, where? Come on, man.
That is used genetically modified and put it to the
Butterfly.
yeah.
Monarch. What about that song? Monarch butterfly. They used to be in folk and Northwest. You really migrate from there all the way up to Mexico and back.
Man. Yeah, we have anything else?
The Lord is going. The Lord is going. I got two.
This is, Jeremiah 30. And, I'm gonna just go to the point. This is verse 16, it says, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. And all thy adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord. Because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, and no man speaketh that.
That's a great transition.
Yeah.
You didn't be put down, you came out. Son of God, Lord is not there, they be called the Son of God. You sacrifice, and the earth manifestation of the creature knows the Son of God. Right? And then they don't even know it. The priests don't even know it.
Right.
But it's spirit, who, what,
Yep.
it's going to be made manifest. This morning. This morning. Right, so this is wisdom of Solomon 6:20. Therefore, the desire of wisdom brings to a king. And you really want to know what to learn, and you learn tools to repent. You learn how to pray. You learn how to fast. So you can get your mind healed. Yeah. Right, because if you're not in this truth, you're a putrefied, sick, sore, zombie mind. Yeah. So you follow me, but the Lord will give you that wisdom will heal you, that eyesight, to get you to be saved. And the true saints, we quoted it, the rest, when we reference the famous but the saints, the most high, from God. If the ancestors have to the both tribes, what would be the it's going to be a force in life. I was looking at the Lord, one of the three class, and see that spiritual man. We have us around shy watching the fall of the right, the culmination falling. But the change the most high should take the kingdom and protect the kingdom for us, even for us. Hey, so with that, we don't say all praises and not in word of peace.
Yeah, how several conversations.
The latest foundation for over 30 years, 40 years, starting with the apostle, the entire from that point, it coincided with falling down piece of being 6 weeks of sitting there. Next month started. That's around the time I was starting. That's indicative. That's why we know that the trench is happening in homes. You can hold the line. But the line we talk about work, we don't know how to go. There's another maybe how way outside. Show us the opposite of obedience in how way outside. And your husband, you can't fall over your husband. You think you know how to
members of the Lord, the right, hopefully, like, you know, cycles, we got the problem, just know it's protection. Oh, no, it's gonna be a miracle. You know, so we're ready for everything.
This,
You know, we got.
Shalom.